Hey, Tej here. Today we're taking a look at technical analysis for SP500 with Elliott Wave Theory. Couple of advertisements here at the start. I finally completed the Elliott Wave and RSI Advanced course, so if you want to master the RSI and want to learn how it can be utilized properly with Elliott Wave Theory, check out the course on Udemy. I've also founded Countertrend Capital with these guys over here, so if you are looking for signal service and more education, check us out here on countertrendcapital.com. And lastly, if you want to educate yourself and support me, you can take a look at Patreon, where you can find Elliott Wave Basics course, access to weekly live streams and extra content overall. Thank you for your support. Let's get into the charts next. So here we are on 1 hour time frame for S&P 500, and today again we're going to be diving into the structures over here more carefully. Now, before going further with the Elliott Wave counts, I must inform that we have taken out these highs here on QQQ. Again, not on Nasdaq futures, but on the QQQ. So keep that in mind when you still want to be too bearish on this. Now, RTY has not even rallied this much up higher, and Dow Jones is doing its own thing for quite some time. So we're not going to be comparing those two to S&P 500 wave counts, but instead, again, Nasdaq and S&P 500 have been still going hand in hand. At least in the terms of overall direction. So keep that in mind when we are looking at these options here. So from the highs again, bullish option, which I still like the best, is this one, where we had this as an A wave, B wave and C wave hitting the 1-to-1 extension, and then we'd be having some kind of diagonal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here on futures charts, we would be having this as an expanding leading diagonal, where each subsequent wave is larger than the previous one. So comparing this to the SPX chart, we have a contracting diagonal in here. So again, both are saying that there is a chance that we are going to be rallying in here, and yeah, that is that. I do like this idea still, although again they are a bit contradicting each other, having expanding diagonal and a contracting diagonal. The overall idea is still the same though. Now, again, as I've labeled this could be a fire wave into wave A or wave 1. Then we'd be looking for a pullback here for wave 2 or wave B, and then rallying up higher. Now, if you see these time analyzers here, which is just a basic time pull using the Fibonacci time tool, I've used this onto the top of here and clicked twice again, and these should be obviously here. So this would be the first structure first time I would be expecting this correction to be done. Again, the reason why I'm using the 23.6 instead of 38.2 here now has been that crypto recently has been using these 23.6 as the minimum instead of the 38.2. So I've kind of missed the bottoms completely, but again, there is definitely a chance that this could also just do this and go up. But the 23.6 has been holding as the very much more true than the 38.2 in time for the corrections. So this is again comparing this whole thing against the correction before a continuation. So again, this is definitely something that I would be watching here. And this is happening again Friday afternoon before market opens. So that would be the minimum amount of time I would be expecting. So what do I expect for today? Well, it is kind of easy. I'm going to be expecting this structure to be going down. I'm not expecting it to break these lows. I'm not expecting it to break these highs, but we're going to be within this area here. And to be honest, today we definitely could be doing something like that. And then tomorrow or later today, we would be looking for another down pump and get everyone bearish before we are going to get up higher. Now, this is the bullish idea. Now, again, if we are looking at higher time frame, it definitely looked like this was a straight move downwards. It was not. It clearly here is a three-way structure. Now, again, this is during the Fed talk, so we can't really go on and say that all of this is a three-way structure for sure, because so many times before when we've had these Fed talks and important market news and rate changes and stuff like that, we've had this kind of structure forming a fake out upside and pump or dump downwards again. And again, this is exactly what we had previously. But the structure that is created from the highs here, again, is not really to be trusted. This can definitely be and act as flyways as well. So that's why I'm not really looking for the internal wave structures here that much, but instead I'm just looking for the pivots here and measuring these. And through probabilities, I'm going to be predicting the end of the wave 2 or B here later on. But there's definitely a chance to get into a short again if you're not in it yet. There's again chance that this is some kind of a impulse move up higher, where this would be some kind of a diagonal in here. And again, we do have the divergences here that could be suggesting that three-way structure down, and then we'd be getting another pump up higher. And at this point, again, we could be looking for another short setup downwards. And again, 1-to-1 here would be, well, beyond the 38.2 at least. This is, again, something to keep in mind. The 38.2 definitely did have this previous lows to be tapped in here. It could be turning into a resistance instead. This is the same area that we had touched in here. So this area here around 4,000 is definitely, or 4,005 to 4,007 is going to be definitely an interesting one to look at and see how that is going to be forming, and if it is going to be giving us any kind of scenarios to go down again. But yeah, that's the bullish idea. For me, I'm still expecting something like that to happen. But let's take a look at the bearish scenario, which I don't really like too much, just based on the Nasdaq, again as mentioned. However, it's still possible. We have not breached these highs here on S&P 500. We have gone beyond these on Nasdaq. We have gone very close to these here as well on Nasdaq. However, on Nasdaq, again, the futures, we have not taken out these, but we have taken out these on QQQ. So which one you hold more true? Be sure to look at that instead. Now for this one again, we would be still looking at this as a wave 1, 2, 1, 2, and this would become another 1, 2. Invalidation for this whole idea would be up in these highs. Again, if we are taking out these highs, then it's going to be, again, making it way less probable that this whole thing is a 1, 2 of anything. Now, if we take out these highs here, I'm not going to be bearish at all anymore. Why? Is because, again, if we are labeling this into wave 1, we can't label this into wave B of that 2. Having this, again, going so much further than the 1.618 here, it does not really make too much sense to me to have a structure like this. It just is ugly. It just doesn't have the proportions that are needed, at least for me to take a trade downwards. But again, based on the bull count, I'm still short on here locally. So again, I might be just holding that way longer if this is turning into a three-way structure. Of course, I'm going to be taking profits here, setting my stop loss somewhere close, and if this just drops down below these lows, and then I'm going to be looking this more into more bearish scenario. At the moment, I don't really have a scenario for Nasdaq though, but again, we're going to be looking into those on the Patreon live stream today. Again, that's going to be private only for Patreon members though, unlike last week's. But yeah, I think that is pretty much everything that I have for S&P 500 today. Again, quite short video, but that's all I got for now. Again, if you enjoyed, check out leave me a like and comment here. If you want to educate yourself, check out the Patreon and the course on Udemy. Check out CTC for trade setups and more education as well. I think that's all. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.